President Trump's chip diplomacy aims to open more doors for U.S. tech, but could turning the Gulf into an AI hub also end up opening a backdoor for China? Deirdre Bosa has more in today's Tech Check. Deirdre?
So, Kelly, chip deals, yes, they could open the door to a new wave of AI demand. That's bullish for the AI trade. But they could also power Gulf data centers, many of which already have ties to Chinese cloud giants like Huawei and Alibaba, raising a critical question for investors and policymakers. Is the U.S. expanding its AI footprint, or is this just creating a new access point for Beijing, or as Kelly called it, a backdoor? Now, some officials are pushing for U.S. guardrails like U.S.-controlled access to data centers, but the China-Gulf tech ties, they run deep. Huawei has built out much of Saudi Arabia's 5G infrastructure. Alibaba has a joint venture with Saudi Telecom. And then there's NEOM, the $500 billion Saudi megacity project where Chinese companies have already secured AI and autonomous roles in its development. Just this morning, the Alibaba-owned South China Morning Post reports that Chinese companies are quietly cutting their own deals in the region this week as a hedge against worsening U.S.-China trade ties. This is a risk that the Biden administration recognized and tried to mitigate with the AI diffusion rule, but that the Trump administration has now thrown off. Palantir CEO Alex Karp, he spoke to the stakes in Riyadh today. He called AI a dangerous weapon in the wrong hands. And really, so much of policy over the last few years has focused on containing our technology from China. The administration, it's now embracing this policy of diffusion. It's the idea that spreading U.S. AI technology widely, that can extend American influence and maintain our edge. But we may see through those deals this week, Kelly, that the strategy cuts both ways. Spreading influence, yes, but potentially exposing new vulnerabilities. And it really goes against, why we had the diffusion rule in place, why the Biden administration put it in. It's to avoid sort of these backdoors to China.
Are there any guarantees that could help, or promises or rules about that not happening?
I mean, we've been dealing in promises and rules and restrictions for the last few years, and that hasn't slowed China down whatsoever, right? DeepSeek was basically born out of necessity. They used less performant H20 chips. Who knows what they could do with this kind of partnership if the Saudis can ensure that it stays out of Chinese hands? It's a big question, one that we've sort of been grappling with over the last few years, but this is a new front.
All right, Deirdre, thank you very much. Deirdre Bosa, appreciate it today.